Evening, guys. Welcome to another Thursday night live stream with yours truly, Alan Scouser. Hope you're all okay. You've had a good week and you've been watching some good movies. So yeah, it's great to be back again live on a Thursday night. Just bear with me, guys. I'm just sorting out any comments in. Yeah, yeah, right. Yeah. So as I say, yeah, nobody in at the moment. So yeah, it's great to be back. And yeah, as I say, like, hope you've all been you've all had a good week and that. Oh, we've got Kevin in. Hang on. Hey, Kevin. Hi, Alan, everyone. You okay, Kev? Your first one in, mate. Yeah. Yeah. Welcome to another day live. Yeah. Hope you're doing okay. Yeah. So, yeah, good to see you. Yeah. I'm sure everybody else will start filtering in as the evening goes on. I hope. Yeah. So, as I say, yeah, I'm just doing tonight's live again in the comfort of my bedroom because I find that I can relax better, like with me back and that, because it gets very stiff sitting in the chair and that, So yeah, it's great to be back and hope you've got some great movies to discuss. What you've been watching and that, I've got a couple there I'd like to discuss. Yeah. Oh, Jeff's here. You okay, Jeff? Hello, Alan. All right, Jeff. Yeah, good to see you again. Thanks for stopping by, mate. Kevin's saying yes, Alan. Cool. Oh, great. Yeah, thanks. Tony York, evening, Alan. Everyone, you okay? So, thanks for stopping by. Vinny, good evening, Alan. Hope you're okay, mate. I'm not too bad, thanks, Ben. Hope you're doing fine as well. Yeah. Cheers. Thanks for stopping by, mate. Adrian Adamson. Hello, Alan. It's been a while since I checked in. You okay, Adrian? Yeah, yeah. Before I go any further, guys, I'll just say one or two things. I always say it like if there's any problem with either the audio visual, do let me know because I don't want to be raffling on and giving you a poor quality live stream. So do let me know if the least little thing, any defect with the sound, any defect with the visuals. I'm doing like I'm just christening my new laptop here with the inbuilt camera and the sound as well. I haven't got any external attachments now because all the live streams I've been doing, like most of the live streams I've been doing, I've had like an external camera hooked on top of my laptop. But this is a brand new laptop, and so far I'm quite pleased with it. And that, really am. Yeah. So the only one niggling thing I've got is like it's a Lenovo laptop, and when I close it down, like when I finish, sometimes like when I switch it back on, I have to press the power button for about a minute, which is a bloody pain to restart it again. So I don't know if that's some sort of internal defect or whether it's just a natural part of the mechanism. But I'll have to look further into that. So yeah, it's a nice little laptop and that I made up with that, and it's good not to be able to attach external cameras and that. So if we can do it, this is okay. I'll continue to do it just with the laptop alone and that because well, we've come a long way, haven't we, since the first laptops? Because I remember when I first started going live, the picture quality left a lot to be desired because I didn't have an external camera. So I just done it on my old laptop and the picture was very, very bad. So it looks as if they've come on, like they sort of like improved and that, with the making that. So just get back to the comments then, guys. Jeff's saying, I just watched the 1978 invasion of the Body Snatchers. Oh, did you enjoy it, Jeff? Yeah, I must admit, when I watched it like a couple of weeks ago, I didn't get the same enjoyment. I know, like I said, it was a good movie, but I'd sometimes say that when I watched it like years ago as a kid, but when I've rewatched it again years later, it just hasn't got the same magic in that, yeah, I like the old one, the original invasion of the Body Snatchers. I've read the novel as well by Jack Finney. Yeah, we've got Brian here. You okay, Brian? Good evening, Alan, and everyone. Nice to have you along, mate. Thanks for stopping by. Hope you've had a good week. Sammy G's World of Similar. Hello, Alan, bud. Hope you're doing well. Oh, thanks very much, Sam. Yes, nice to see you. Yeah, hope you've had a good week and that. Yeah, cheers, mate. Brian Hall. Hello, Alan. How are you? I'm not too bad, thanks, Brian. Hope you're okay as well. Good to be back again, like on a Thursday night doing the lives. Vampire Jack says, "Good evening, Alan. Alan, and you have to excuse me, guys. I'm still waiting for the new glasses to come, so I've got a sort of like and room. I've got a sort of like sometimes if I can't make out a word, they should be ready for me on Saturday. I've got like the reading glasses and the ordinary glasses. So that's the other thing I wanted to tell you. To excuse me if I might sometimes like move the camera closer, sort of like decipher the words. It's just these glasses, like they're not my normal reading glasses. Sometimes what I have to do I had to put them on the edge of my nose to sort of read and that, So fingers crossed, all going well. I'll be good to go after Saturday. Got to go and pick them up in Liverpool on Saturday afternoon. So all going well, should be good to go next week. Kevin's saying audio and visual is great. Oh, that's good to hear, Kev. Oh, that's great. I always like to know if it's okay and that, because I worry a lot over the transmission and that, I don't want to give me subscribers a poor show. I always like to make sure that it's a maximum quality and that, it's like sometimes when I watch like videos of people done, a couple of years ago, the picture quality is very, very blurred. And sometimes if they're using a poor microphone, it's very, very difficult. Well, you know what I mean, guys, if you've seen the videos yourself, like just some really bad ones out there made in the incipient days of YouTube, shall we say. Am I dead? Yes. Hey, Alan, everyone. You okay? Nice to have you along. Thanks for stopping by. Tony York's here. Picture and sound okay. Oh, that's good to know, To. Thanks very much. Jeff's saying, same here. Invasion of the Body Snatchers, 1978. I felt the acting was a bit off. Yeah, especially Spock, who I thought overacted. Yeah, Leonard Nimoy. Not sure if you thought that, Sam. Yeah, he did overact a bit. Yeah, I just couldn't get into it, Jeff. And as I say, I know, like when I first bought it, I was all excited and that, And but sometimes it works the other way around. Sometimes when you've enjoyed a movie years ago and you watch it again, you don't enjoy it the same, and vice versa. I'll give you an example. I've just rebought the Cat o' Nine Tails, starring Carl Malden and James Franciscus. Now, I watched that about 2 years ago. I didn't really think it was one of Argento's best, but I bought it again. I got the special editions. I'm going to give it another watch, and I hope to do a full review once I've watched it, because it's such a lovely edition. The Arrow edition, guys, if you've seen it, yeah, it's got like the book, it's got the poster, it's got all the extra pieces, it's got a lovely sturdy box. So I'm going to give the Cat o' Nine Tails. It's more of it. It's not in the usual vein of Dario Argento's movies, like the Bird with the Crystal Plumage, movies like that. Suspiria, it's more of a kind of a thriller. So I suspect that was why I didn't really derive the maximum amount of enjoyment when I first watched it a couple of years ago. But I'm going to give it another watch, because I do that, guys. If I don't like a movie the first time, I'll give it another go and see what it's like. I did that like with Hereditary, Midsummer, movies like that. Sometimes you like them again, sometimes you don't. So yeah, so fingers crossed, I might enjoy it better this time. Um, Sammy's saying, really enjoyed the original Invasion of the Body Snatchers. Not seeing the 78 remake. No, yeah, it's very good, Sam. The original Body Snatchers and that, yeah, very good acting and that, good story and that, very, very creepy story. I've always found, I don't know about you guys, I've always found doppelganger stories to be really eerie. I'll give you that. I think my all-time favorite doppelganger movie was The Man Who Haunted Himself, starring the late great Roger Moore. Oh yeah, a fantastic movie. I think it was made around about 1970, 71. That's one of the movies where I've watched so many times over the years. It's such a great movie. If you haven't seen it, guys, The Man Who Haunted Himself, I highly recommend it. It's basically about Roger Moore. You don't know if he's got a double or it's all in his mind. He plays Mr. Pelham. That's the main character. And he's sort of like he has a car crash and he dies. He dies for a couple of minutes on the operating table, and as he's dead, release. Well, we think, you don't know. I won't give the plot away. We think his temporary death might have released an evil alter ego, but you don't know for sure. But I'll leave it at there. But if you like a good doppelganger movie, I'd highly recommend The Man Who Haunted Himself. There's two, talking about Roger Moore, guys. There's two Roger Moore movies I've got my eye on. I might pick up at the weekend when I'm in Liverpool. Gold. Any of you seen that? And also the North Sea Hijack, where he co-stars with Anthony Perkins, two of my favourite actors. So I think HMV 2 for 15. If they fall, I don't know about Goal though. I don't know if that falls under 2 for 15 because it's a new release. But anyway, I might pick those up on Saturday when I've been for my glasses in Liverpool. Yeah. So yeah, there you go. Kevin's saying the original Invasion of the Body Snatchers is a classic. I wouldn't argue with that. Grace, yeah. Right. Vampire Jack saying, all four Invasion of the Body Snatchers movies are fine. The first to the best, though. Yeah, I've seen I've seen a movie like the Body Snatchers. It's like what's it called? It's very good. It's about like this plant, only it's in an office. If you got it in this office, and it's sort of like the one in like the Body Snatcher story. It makes sort of like doppelgangers out of the people and that. And I'm trying to think what it's called. It's very good, but the plant's in the office. So if that rings a bell with anybody, perhaps you could jog me memory. It's very good, yeah. Yeah, the original Body Snatchers is the best, yeah. Sammy's saying, Alan, I looked for Evil Dead Trap today in HMV. Unfortunately, they didn't have it in stock. Oh, they sold out then. I hope to pick us up at the FOP shop next week. I'd love to go to the FOP shop if I'm ever in that area. Yeah, it's I've seen guys with the videos on YouTube and that. It looks a real treasure trove, that FOP shop. So yeah, well, I hope you have better luck to you, Sam, getting that. Yeah, I like the first one was okay, but I didn't like the sequel. But everybody's got their own opinion, haven't they? Tony's saying, Tony York, will you be picking up the new 88 films Tygon release, Alan? The Witchfinder General and Blood on Satan's Claw. Well, I do fancy them because they're both two of my all-time favourite movies. But if you're talking about 4K, I've had a terrible lot of trouble. All the 4Ks I've bought, guys, have been dark. The picture's been really dark, and I don't know why. I mean, like it shouldn't be all that dark, really, in that, because I don't think it's anything to do with my TV settings, because one guy said to me, I was saying about the 4Ks, the picture's very dark, so consequently, that's necessitated me having to switch to the Blu-ray. So this guy said, well, you shouldn't be having that problem with your 4Ks, because all the 4Ks, the picture quality is supposed to be really stunning. But I must admit, guys, up to now, I have been mainly disappointed with 4K. So I'm like that, really. I'm on the fence whether I should venture, to buy another 4K. What do you guys have when you bought 4Ks? Do you have the same problem? The picture dark, is that a natural sort of is that an inherent thing with the 4Ks? Or is the way of getting around that sort of adjusting without messing around with your television too much? Is the way of getting around that making the 4Ks look like they should look? I haven't got I must admit, I haven't got a big gigantic telly. I've only got I think is it a 55-inch, something like that. But it's a lovely picture. It's a 4K television. But I was puzzled, because when I put the 4Ks on, I said to my mum, I said, people are raving over the 4S, and yet the picture's dark. I'll give you an example. Psycho set, the 4K Arrow set, what I bought a couple of months ago. I still got the Scream Factory. But when I put the 4K on, the picture was dark. I mean, Norman Basie was standing in the doorway of his motel and that, and it dark. You couldn't see his face. But when I put the other one on, Psycho 3, it was brighter. Same with Psycho. So if any of you guys, any tips on improving the 4K quality, I'll be back on I'll be back leaning towards buying a 4K. But at the moment, I'm, a little bit like that. So yeah. Am I Dead Yet says, I've still to see the newer version of the Body Snatchers, the one with Nicole Kidman and Daniel Craig. Yeah, I haven't seen that one, the one with Daniel Craig and Nicole Kidman, so I can't comment on that one. I tell you what, I am really excited about, guys, ordering the Blu-ray of The Shining 1997 mini TV series. Yeah, I've seen it on Film Treasures. Oh, I love Film Treasures. Oh, I'm always on Film Treasures looking for new releases. So I thought to myself, wow, it's out on Blu-ray. I wasted no time in ordering that right away. I'm also contemplating ordering. I'm not really a great fan of horror comedies. I like to watch the odd one, but there's two I'm contemplating ordering. That is the one, Love at First Spice, where George Hamilton plays Count Dracula. I think it was made in 1979. And then the other one is Dracula Dead and Loving It. Two Dracula spoofs with Leslie Nielsen in. So I'm thinking about ordering them. I've only seen trailers of them and that, so I might order them as well. But I love Film Treasures and that, I'd like to get that, the Dracula, what Christopher Lee made in Spain, a Jess Franco one, where he plays as much close to the Stoker book as possible. He starts off old and he grows more and more younger, the more blood he drinks. The one he made for Jess Franco, that's coming out on 4K. It's out on, Seven had released it, but the 88 Films one's been put back. I understand it's been put back to December, so it's a long time to wait. So I might order that seven, but God, it's expensive, guys. It's really expensive, yeah. But it's a lovely cover, loads and loads of extras as well, yeah. So that's on my mind as well. But I'd say getting back to the 4K, it's sort of like the ones I've had. I mean, I've got more 4Ks that I haven't watched yet. I just hope they're not dark as well. I've got the Chucky ones. I've got the Last Night in Soho. I've got all the Clint Eastwood spaghetti western. I'm just keeping my fingers crossed that they're not too dark, So, but as I say, guys, if you've got any tips on how I can improve on the 4K, or is it just meant to be like that? Maybe me telly, I need a bigger telly. I don't know. So if any of you guys can say if you've got a good collection of 4Ks, if you can put me in the right direction to improve the picture quality, that would be much appreciated. Thanks. Okay, back to the comments. Jeff saying, what's your opinion? What's your opinion of UFOs, Alan? I think you wrote a book about UFOs, didn't you? Yeah, a couple of years ago, did Jeff? Yeah, yeah. I think there must be something in it because there's been that many. There's been that many sightings all over the world, hasn't there? And then that one, the Roswell. What was it? The Roswell incidents that happened? Was it in the 40s and that? And people have said, a couple of years ago as well, we had an incident, and I'm barely, I was barely sort of like old enough to remember it. And that, yeah. In our house, like in where we live and that, I think it was my dad that's seen it. There was a big light in the garden. It all illuminated everywhere and that, and he said to me, Mum, you see that light? She said, yeah, and that was all the garden was lit up. I think it was for about 5 minutes. Mysterious light and that just lit the whole garden up, and it just went as fast as it come. So that was a bit of a mystery in that. Yeah, so it does make you think, like, I've got an open mind about UFOs, Jeff. I think there must be something in it, and that, I just hope they're friendly if we ever do get a visit from them. I hope they're not. I hope they're not like the bloody alien from the bloody Ridley Scott movie and that. So yeah, who knows? Richard Brown, Cat o' Nine Tails was probably my least favourite of the classic RG. Yeah, that's to say, Richard, I didn't enjoy it the first time I saw it. It was more of a thriller than a horror. But I'm going to give it another go, and see what I think of it. It's such a nice addition as well. Sammy's saying, I thought the Cat o' Nine Tails was really solid, but I did prefer the bird with the crystal plume. Same here. I think that's probably my favourite Dario Argento movie next to Suspiria. The bird with the crystal. Oh, I love Susie Kendall. Oh, she's one of my. Oh, I must admit, guys, I've got an everlasting crush on her. That lady, and that, along with Veronica Carlson, the blonde girl out the Hammer films. Beautiful girls, both of them. I love Susie Kendall and Torso as well. She's very good in that. And Spasmo's a good one, guys. If you haven't seen Spasmo, that's a good little gem. Spasmo, yeah. A bit of a weird movie in that, with all the dolls and that, all the mannequins in the forest. It's a good movie though. Yeah, full of twists and turns. But I love Susie Kendall. Yeah, she's been in a couple. She's in To Say With Love as well, and that. She's married to Dudley Moore. Yeah, and she's been in a couple of the TV episodes. The likes of the Persuaders and that. And she was in a good little segments in the horror anthology movie Tales That Witness Madness. I don't know if you guys have seen that, where Donald Pleasance is in. It's like an anthology movie, and the segment what Susie Kendall's in, she's sort of like the girlfriend of this guy, and he buys all these antiques from a antique shop, with this guy on it called Uncle Albus with a moustache from the Edwardian days. He buys a penny farthing, and he buys the photo, and it's evil. I won't say too much about it, but both the photo, the old photograph, and the penny farthing are really evil. So she's good in that as well. But I love Susie Ken. But the bird with the crystal plumage, I love the twist in that as well. Yeah, so that is probably my all-time favourites, Dario Argento, Sam. I probably do. I've got it in my mind to do a couple of my all-time top 5 Dario Argento movies. So stay tuned for that. Jeff saying, sorry, my keyboard's playing up. No worries, mate. I know the feeling. I've had all sorts of things playing up since I've got to the wonderful world of IT, from the deadly blank screen to all sorts of weird things, the sound going off and that. You start scratching your head. You think, what the bloody hell caused that? But this is a bit annoying, as I say, with this Lenovo laptop, because like I had to put my finger on the power button for a minute to get it back again. And that, yeah, but it's a lovely picture quality, guys. I'm really made up with that. The other laptop is a good one as well. But the only thing with that, the keyboard went, put it into the shop in Birkenhead, and he said he couldn't say, other than giving me a second-hand keyboard, he couldn't do anything with it. So I said, no, I'm not having a second-hand one. So I took it back. It's still there, actually, yeah. So if anybody knows anybody good, it's good at fixing keyboards, let me know. It might be a little bit of commissioning for you. Right, on with the comments. We've got Tony saying, I love those Italian giallo, me too. and a Spanish-made one. So I've started collecting the Forgotten Gialli movies, that without the Vinegar Syndrome in the box sets and that. But the only thing is, when I ordered my first one, I got it I just got one Blu-ray, just one Blu-ray with the three titles on it, and I wasn't too happy actually because I was expecting this big lovely box set and that. But apparently they're only limited editions, the Forgotten Gialli. So once they've sold out, they're just issuing on the standard Blu-ray with the three movies on. But I've got three of those now. So I suppose if you look at like in a positive sense, it's good on shelf space because you're saving yourself shelf space. Because my shelves are just there mounting up and that, they're brimming over with Blu-rays and DVDs. And people have been asking me, but people have been asking me for months, when you're going to do a full video showing all your horror collection. Well, that is very much foremost in my mind, guys. I haven't forgotten, but I've got to make sure everything's nice and neat and that. I keep all my Blu-rays and DVDs in alphabetical order because you can just put your finger on right if you want to watch a certain film. It's right there. It's all alphabeticized. So once I've sort of like I've got getting rid of a couple as well, give to charity shops and that. But once I've done that, I'll be able to film a video showing you all my horror collection. It's a video I'm very, very keen to do. So stay tuned. And we've got Gina here. You okay, Gina? Hi, Alan, everyone. Thanks for stopping by. It's always nice to see you. Hope you've had a good week. You've been watching some good movies. Going to discuss a couple of movies later on what I've been watching. Vampire Jack, for me, in regards to Argento, my top three are: number one, Suspiria, yeah. Number two, Tenebrae, and number three, Sleepless. I'm not sure if I've seen that one, Sleepless, but yeah, I would certainly agree with you. Vampire Jack with Suspiria and Tenebrae, top movies, yeah, from a top director. I don't think I've seen Sleepless. I'll have to check that one out. Is it one of his later ones, is it? Excuse me while I have a little swig. Yeah, so yeah, love Dario Argento. As I say, I'll give the Cat o' Nine Tails another go, and I'll do a review of it. Jeff saying hi, Gina. Yeah. Sammy's saying Tenebrae is fantastic. It certainly is. It's a great one, that Sam. I love Tenebrae. Yeah, fantastic movie. Tony's saying here, The Man Who Haunted Himself, fantastic. Definitely so. Definitely. I have the network Blu-ray. Yeah. Oh, yeah. It's fantastic. Yeah. I love Roger Moore. Yeah. It always. I don't know how many times I've watched that movie over the years, and even though I know every single thing that happens in it, I just love it. It's so well done. The story's good. Roger Moore. Oh yeah. I always have a blast watching that movie, guys. I really do. Yeah. It's great. It's great. If you haven't seen it, guys, The Man Who Haunted Himself, I highly recommend you get yourself the Blu-ray and watch it. Yeah, I don't know if you know, like that was it was based on the novel, The Strange Case of Mr. Pelham, written many years ago, and that was done in the Alfred Hitchcock Presents, the TV series. There was a segment in that called The Strange Case of Mr. Pelham, pretty much similar to the Roger Moore, but it went on it went along a different path. Yeah, so that story's been done, to my knowledge, up to now. It's been done twice. Yeah, the first time by Alfred Hitchcock, The Strange Case of Mr. Pelham, and then later on around about 1970, 71 by Roger Moore. Yeah, oh yeah, great story. Um, Richard Brown, Deep Red is my favourite. Yeah, yeah, I like Deep Red. Yeah, with David Hemmings. Yeah, yeah, it's good Deep Red. I've got the 4K of Deep Red. I haven't watched it yet. I believe if you watch the shorter cut, it's better paced. But if you watch the longer cut, it drags out a bit. Now, when I first bought Deep Red a couple of years ago, the ordinary Blu-ray, I made the mistake of watching the longer cut. I thought to myself, this is a bit slow. It's a bit sluggish. But now that I've got this new edition, it's got every single cut of the movie on. I'm gonna make I'm gonna make darn sure I watch the shorter cut. It's better paced. Yeah. Um, Right, just go down to the comments, guys. Jeff's saying, I hear that new Salem's Lot is eventually getting a release in a few months. God, we've waited ages for that. Oh yeah, ages we've waited, haven't we? I just hope it's worth the wait. I mean, as I say, like my number one version of Salem's Lot is the 1979 one with the late great David Soul. So it'll be interesting to see how this new one compares. And I'm keeping an open mind, and I haven't even seen it. I don't think anybody's seen the vampire yet, have they? So when the trailer starts to hit YouTube, I'll definitely be checking it out. Yeah, love Salem's Lot. Am I Dead? Yes, Day of the Trippids. I like Day of the Trippids, but only the older version. They did one in 1981. I wasn't too keen on it. It was a bit slow, but I do like the older version. Yeah, that's quite a creepy story. That Richard Brown saying the Broken was a good British doppelganger film. The Broken, I haven't heard of that one, Richard. You'll have to tell me all about that. Anything to do with doppelgangers and evil twins and that, I love anything like that, when you've got a double or you think it's all in the mind. Oh, yeah, and I hope to do a novel one day about doppelgangers. Yeah, I love the doppelganger story. Jeff saying, I like the 1981 TV series Day of the Trip. It's all right. So you like that one, did you, Jeff? Made by the BBC. Yeah, I bought the what's the name a couple of years ago, the Blu-ray. Yeah, I couldn't get into it. Yeah, but everybody's different, aren't they? Gina to Jeff, I enjoyed that series too, right? Written by John Wyndham, wasn't it? The book. Who also wrote the Midwich Cuckoos, which spawned the movies, the Children of the Dam movies. Yeah, Vampire Jack. I've dug all three versions of the triplet. Yeah, that's fair enough. Yeah, as I say, everybody to their own taste. Tony saying I can recommend those two Roger Moore movies. Oh, thanks, Tony. Yeah, I'll check them out. Gold is a thriller set around the South African gold mining industry, and North Sea Hijack is a tongue-in-cheek action movie. Yeah, as I say, I most probably pick them up. So when I'm in Liverpool on Saturday, yeah, cheers. So Jeff saying to Gina, I watched it last year. I thought it stood up really well. Right? Kevin's saying, do you ever go hunting in CX or Blue? Yeah, I do go to CX, Kev. The only thing with them, I found some of the prices, like I think they've got a bit of a cheek, because sometimes in new Blu-rays they charge like the full price. Blu-rays that's been watched. I mean, they charge the full price for them, second-hand Blu-rays. So, but I do like going into CX and that. Sold a couple of movies in there. So yeah, I'm not averse to buying from them. It's just that I don't like sometimes when they're a bit overpriced. Some of the movies, what they put on the shelves. Yeah, but yeah, I go to CX quite regularly. Kev, Kevin's saying again, I'm really looking forward to all the Tygon films. Yeah, from 88 films, and I hope they release more. I'd like to get them myself, Kev, but as I say, I've got reservations about the 4K because, as I said before, all the 4Ks I've bought so far, the picture's been unacceptably dark, and I was thinking to myself, well, everybody's raving over 4K. Why is the bloody picture dark and that? So if anybody can come up with a solution, I'll be very, very grateful in that. I don't think it's me telly. I don't think it's got anything to do with me telly, because me telly's it's a perfect picture and that. So there must be some sort of fault somewhere along the line. Oh, another thing, guys, I'd like to ask you. I don't know if this happens to you. When you're watching a Blu-ray when you play it, be it a multi-region or in it just in English, region B. Do you ever experience the picture going off for about 3 or 4 seconds and coming on again? That goes off and comes back on again. I've been getting that recurrence fault quite a few times lately. I've scrubbed my discs and that. That's not to do with the discs and that. Put on certain films, it does it all the time. The screen goes black for a minute and it comes on. It's very, very annoying. It really is. So if anybody has that happened to you, guys, let me know if there's a fix for it. Very annoying in that. Some of the movies I've had to put off because I can't watch this. It's going off all the time. The picture's going off and that. So let me know, guys, if you've experienced the same problem. Tony's saying I haven't had particular issues with dark 4Ks, right? But I am wondering if they're really worth the unusually substantial cost. Exactly, I wonder that all the time. So, because some of the ones I've got, there doesn't seem to be much difference, really. To be honest with you, I can't notice the difference. If I was watching them side by side, I would be hard pressed to say that's the 4K. But I do know a lot of YouTubers they got big tellies and that. Maybe that's why they noticed that the difference in the picture quality, because I believe 4K is done at a higher frame resolution, isn't it? So maybe you've got the chemistry of the YouTuber having the big telly and also knowing about out 4Ks a sort of like process and that. So maybe that's why they've got no reservations about buying 4Ks and building a 4K collection up. But with me just having the ordinary 4K Blu-ray, ordinary, well, I wouldn't say ordinary, it's quite a big television. It's not a great big 65-incher. It's just a 55. But yeah, I was just wondering about that. The 4K is better confined to the people who've got the big tellies, yeah. Um, Kevin's saying 4K releases aren't worth upgrading unless you project. I thought so. Yeah, if you've got a big giant screen, you get the maximum benefits. Yeah, I thought so, Kev. Yeah, as I said before, I can't. I've watched quite a few 4Ks now, and beside the problem with the perpetual darkness all the time, and that, every 4K I bought has been a fault with the picture being too dark, the faces being too dark. Yeah, I thought it might be something to do with the screen and that. So yeah, so maybe I should stop buying them all together and just stick with my Blu-rays. Yeah, Vampire Jack. I'm going no higher than Blu-ray. I don't blame you, Vampire Jack. I say, I'm thinking more and more. The 4Ks are overrated. Even my mum said that. She said the 4Ks, like, you can't understand. You can't see the difference between the Blu-ray and the 4K. So yeah, I don't think I'll be getting any more fake or 4Ks. But I must admit, those Witchfinder General and the Blood on Satan's Claw are very, very enticing, very tempting. But I think I will stop there. So, all right then, guys. What I'm going to do now, I'm going to discuss a couple of movies what I've watched lately. I won't take too long because I want to get through your comments now. I watched The Bad Seed last night from, was it 1955, about the wicked little girl. Oh, it was boring, guys. It was really boring. I fell asleep. I've sent for the remake as well, so I hope that's better. But yeah, this little angelic looking blonde girl with pigtails and that, and she's supposed to be evil. But there's a lot of talk in it. It was a lot of like, living room chat, nasa. And oh yeah, I fell asleep, guys. I didn't like it at all. The Bad Seed. That'll be in my next pickups, by the way. I also watched there's another one I watched as well. I bought in Liverpool, The Messiah of Evil. Oh, that was terrible. It was absolutely atrocious. I don't know if you guys have seen it. It was like it was just like it's supposed to be this girl goes to this seaside town and it's this sinister ambience hanging over the town, like in a cult or something. But it was just terrible, guys. It was like a lot of jump cuts and that, and very, very like drug hallucinatory scenes, like surreal dreams, and I don't like those sorts of scenes in my films, like very, very surreal, as if you're in a dream and that. And oh, it was terrible, guys. That's going to be another candidate for eBay or CX. I also watched the movie called The Vanishing. Some of you guys might have heard of that's a French movie. I think it was made. It was at 1991. About this guy goes on holiday and that, and his wife goes missing. She goes to buy something from one of the little outlets and that she goes missing and that. But everybody was going on about the ending. The ending was quite shocking, but I thought the husband made a bit of a stupid decision. But I'll leave it there, guys. I won't say if you haven't seen The Vanishing, I won't give away. But I thought he was a bit stupid making that decision. What he did. Watched. I've already discussed Thanksgiving. That was very good. Yeah, and I enjoyed it. Yeah. What else have I watched? There's one other one I watched. I can't remember the title of it. It's what I bought from HMV. It's one of those like haunted house things, but again, it was rubbish, guys. I watched that one in Mom, about the mother who anybody crosses her daughter, she kills them. I got the two movies on the Blu-ray. I watched the first one, loved the first one, didn't like the second one. My reviews are there anyway. If you want to have a look at my reviews and that, they're all well, that one for Mommy. I did review Mommy. I haven't reviewed the Bad Seed yet, and I haven't reviewed Messiah of Evil. So, but that Bad Seed was terrible, guys. It really was. It promised to be so entertaining as well. Because it said like it reminded a little bit of The Exorcist, sweet little girl like turns into like a demon and that, minus the Ouija board. But it was terrible, guys. The Bad Seed, yeah. So the little girl and that was the woman who played the mommy in the mommy movies, grown up and that. So McCormack, I think the name was McCormack, yeah. that's about it, really. Uh, right, back to the comments. Tony's saying, another good company for unusual rare Blu-rays and DVDs is Strange Vice. So I haven't heard of them, so if you can't source something from Film Treasures, I'll have to have a look at them. Yeah, Strange Vice. Yeah, cheers, To. Kevin's saying, love at First Bite is okay. Oh yeah, the one with George Hamilton in, but the Mel Brooks one is superb. Push Tales, that's the one with Leslie Nielsen. Dracula is dead and loving it. Yeah, yeah, I'll have to check them out. Vampire Jack saying, my missus would kill me if I were to rebuy my movies again. Yeah. Lurking Crass Zero. Blu-ray is more than good enough for me. I watch all my films on my projector for anyways, and I'm not spending a fortune on a 4K projector. I don't blame you. Lurking Grass Zero, yeah, wise decision. Richard Brown saying, Blu-ray is good enough for me. Good enough for me as well, Richard, yeah. Yeah, they're overrated, those 4Ks. Yeah, some YouTubers, they go into this sort of like paroxysm when they're talking about 4Ks. They go into this paroxysm of ecstasy. Oh, 4K, gotta get 4K, gotta get the 4K, gotta get the 4K. And I think to myself, it's not. There's no difference really. Maybe they got the big tellies anyway, so make a difference to them, as I said before. Leslie Russell here. You okay, Leslie? Some movies on Blu-ray show things about FX because they have brightness and contrast very, very high. For example, in Hellraiser 87, you can see the wheels of the cars that carries the Scorpion Cenobite. Oh, right, yeah. Yeah, I suppose it all boils down to contrast and that, and the actual print of the movie and that, doesn't it? Because some movies I've had from the 70s they look beautiful, as if they've only been made yesterday. Whereas, by comparison, I've had really modern movies and you've had that. I describe it as the dirty dishwater colour. And by that, I mean like a dirty dishwater sheen over them, very dull, drab, and no colour. And that those bloody dark scenes, guys. I did a video about this. Things I hate in modern horror movies are bloody dark scenes and that. They never put the lights on, do they, when he investigates a noise downstairs or a noise in the next room? They never switch the lights on, and to be honest, guys, some of these haunted house movies, they're getting a bit jaded to them, guys. It's always the same thing. You might see the girl, brushing her hair in the mirror and something flip past her, and she looks around, there's nobody there. And then you might see the noise upstairs I say they don't put the lights on, you go into the room, there's nothing there. And then you might get something pop up from the shadows. Like, I'm not a great fan of jump scares, guys, to be honest with you. I like a good story. I'm not a fan of jump scares at all. I don't like them, especially when you've got to tell you loud and jump out your skin and that. But yeah, I like story, story, story. Talk about education, education, education. I like story, story, story. If it hasn't got a good story, if it hasn't got good characters, I'm off. I'm reaching for the off switch. I'm not interested in these cheap, cheesy jump scare, like pathetic CGI jump scares crap. I don't like it. I don't like this modern trend for all this. Some of these producers, they don't know how to write a good story. So what do? They cram the movie with cheap jump scares, and they're overdoing it now, guys. It's getting a lot of people it's getting beyond the joke, guys. They can't write a proper haunted house movie. They're all the same thing now. A lot of these haunted house movies, unfortunately, and it's a great genre as well, but it's just been tarnished by the proliferation of this jump scare tendency among directors. Uh, Jeff saying that Doppelganger Hammer House of Horror episode is really good. Oh, I'll say that's my favourite one, Jeff. Yeah, is it the Two Faces of Evil? Is it called? Yeah, the neck and that and the bloody pointed finger. Oh God, yeah, that is real creepy. That one. I first remember watching that, Jeff, in the autumn of 1980 when that series was first screened. Oh God, scared to be Jesus out of me. Yeah, really stood the test of time when I saw it last year. Yeah, definitely. I'll never forget the dirty fingernail. I know the Two Faces of Evil. Yeah, it was a great one. That whoever wrote that story knew how to write a good story. Didn't have to put cheap bloody stereophonic jump scares in. Story, 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 and that's what counts for me. Same with novels, story, 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 and if you wanted to add characters, yeah, definitely. Kevin's saying, I love North Sea Hijack. Yeah, I'm gonna get that on a Saturday. It's a really fun movie with excellent picture quality. Great, that's good to know, Kev. I think it's very entertaining and fun. Right, I've watched it twice. Oh, you've watched it twice this week. Oh, great. I'll definitely be picking that up. You've got Anthony Perkins. You've got Roger Moore. What more, if you pardon the pun, what more could you ask for? Sorry, guys, these puns just slip out unintentionally. Am I dead? Yes. Talking about UFOs, did you like the X-Files? No. I've got to say now, I wasn't a fan from years ago. I wasn't the biggest fan myself, but it was yeah, I couldn't get into it. No, I tried to get into it, but just couldn't. I know it's got a big fandom, hasn't it? It's got a big fandom, but yeah, I couldn't get into it. Gina's saying UFOs are fascinating. They certainly are, Gina. I've got a friend who has seen several over Cannock Chase, a local area of high strangeness. Oh, right, yeah. Ooh, yeah, I think there's definitely something in it. Definitely. Vampire Jack, regarding the original V was great. Oh, you're talking about the series from the 1980s V. Yeah, I didn't really get into that one. Vampire Jack, yeah, the original V. Sorry, just duplicate comments there, guys. Um, Tony saying, I read there's been a study done by the Pentagon, the US Defense Department, and if aliens arrive, they recommend immediate surrender, as they would be so technology advanced to be able to get here. All right, well, yeah, makes you wonder, doesn't it? It's a big mystery, isn't it? The universe, it really is. As you see in series like the Twilight Zone, the Outer Limits, it's all exemplified, isn't it? The mystery of the universe is all exemplified in those segments, and some very good segments to wear too. I've got the Blu-ray. I've got the Blu-ray box set, guys, of the Twilight Zone. Narrated by Rod Serling. I've got his other series as well, Night Gallery, which is not as good as the Twilight Zone, but it's still some pretty good stories in it. One of my favourite ones is the blonde girl. She got very long blonde hair, and she goes to this house and that. She got like a ghost and that. And she got this recurring dream. She keeps going back to this house again and again in the countryside, deep in the wilderness and that. It's good. It's a good one, yeah. Joanna Petet plays the girl. Joanna Petet. She's been in quite a few movies. She's a big friend of Sharon Tate's. Yeah, Joanna Petet. I think that's how you pronounce it. Joanna Petet. Yeah, that's a good one. That one of my favourite Twilight Zone episodes, guys, was the one with William Shatner on the plane where he sees the thing on the wing and that. That's a great one. That yeah, that was based on a short story by Richard Matheson. Nightmares, I think was it 50,000 feet. Great one. That another one I like, guys, is talking about doppelgangers again. Veena Mars, who played the girl, Janet Leigh's sister in Psycho. She's in a very good episode of you guys have been at the Twilight Zone. You know exactly what I mean. She's in this episode where she's she's waiting in a late night bus station. I think it's come up at 12 midnight, and she sees a double of herself. It's real creepy in that. And she says to the fella behind the fella taking the ticket, just saw a double of myself and that. And then it goes into another it goes off into another sort of strange path. If you haven't seen it, guys, if you like doppelganger stories, I highly recommend you check. I don't remember the title of it, but I do remember Vera Miles being, the doppelganger and that. But it carries on, it spreads further from that. It branches out, if you like. So watch out for that one if you haven't seen any of the Twilight Zones. You just starting off. It's a great one, that. And another good one, guys, is the Talkie Tina, the one with Telly Savalas. I think it's like an early precursor to the Chucky movies. His daughter gets this doll. It's weird. It starts talking, and it scares the living daylights out of Telly Savalas because you think it's got developing a mind of its own. Very creepy story. It's called Talkie Tina, so check that one out. I might do a video one day, guys, on my top 10 favourite Twilight Zone episodes, or the top 20 favourites. I've always been a huge fan of the Twilight Zone. I love it. Love it to pieces, yeah. Some great little stories. I just wish, the TV executive would start making a little series like that. I know Jordan Peele revived it, didn't he? But I didn't like it. It was terrible. I'm not a big fan of Jordan Peele, guys, to be honest. I think he's overrated. Guess Out was all right, but I didn't like any of his other movies, yeah. But I'd love to see a really good horror, a really good horror series, adapted for TV. It'd be good, like, all different, preferably maybe by different writers and that, sending the stories in and that, so you wouldn't get the same old thing week after week, like variation, like the Hammer House of Horror, which I think was one of the best horror series ever shown on television. Journeys to the Unknown as well is long overdue for a Blu-ray release. Richard's saying, I watched The Possessed, an Italian film from the 60s. Excellent film. Derek Wilson, Peter Baldwin from Corrie was the star. The Possessed. Oh God, have I seen that one? I don't think I've seen one from the 60s, but I've seen one with is it Sam Neill? Was that The Possession where he's arguing and screaming all the time with his wife? I didn't like it, guys. It's overrated. You probably know the one I mean. I think it was made in 1981. The Possession, and he were all when I didn't know nothing about him. We had all these people raving over it. But so that sounds good. But when I got it, all he would do was shouting and arguing all the time. Oh yeah, it was rubbish, guys. Didn't like it. Don't think I've seen that one though, Richard. Tony saying Forgotten Giallo. I just got one volume as I had the films on the other volumes in single DVD Blu-ray release. Right? Yeah, I might do a review of them once I watch them all. The Forgotten Giallo series. So Jeff's saying, sorry to be boring, but I find it really scary how big the universe is. Yeah, definitely. The visible universe, I think, isn't even 1% of what I know. It is. It's a big mystery, isn't it? You've got all these theories, haven't you? How it started off. Did that happen by accident? The Big Bang Theory. There's God out there. You could go on forever. You could go on as long as the universe, as big as the universe. You could go on talking about that forever and ever, couldn't you? You still wouldn't find out. Gina to Jeff, yes, it's amazing. I know, yeah. Um, we've got Ellis Mainworth here. You okay? Hi, Alan. That bed looks comfy. It is nice and comfy. Yeah, you should unzip. And no, well, you're going off, mate. I'm not having filth like you on my channel. Moderators, get this idiot out of here. You'd always get one lunatic, don't you? One bloody lunatic. Go on, clear off. We don't want your type here, idiots. Get rid of him. You always get one loony, don't you? Oh, Kevin's hygiene. Sorry, guys, if I pause a little bit, I'm just reading through the comments, and any dodgy characters are going to be zapped into infinity. KN, hey Alan, got an email from Amazon ACA to postpone the Pete Walker box. I know, yeah, he postponed it again. He pushed it back to January 2025. Not a good sign. Yeah, I was looking for. I was going to get that, but the only thing is, I did have reservations because I thought to myself, it's the same model, it's the same ones I've got on the ones I bought like over the years, like on that dark label. What's it called? Redemption. I won't bother getting them, but if they are a substantial step up from you know, the ones I've got. Like I would have got it in that, but yeah, they might cancel that, mightn't they? Jeff's saying, I don't think there was a big bang either, Gene. I think the universe has always existed. There was no beginning. Yeah, it's very, very strange, isn't it? Very strange, but big mystery. Sorry, guys, I'm just taking me time reading the comments. I'm just watching out for any nutters like. We've got Lake and Crash Zero. The man who haunted himself was never off the telly in the 80s when I was a kid. Always loved it when it was on though. Yeah, it's a great movie. Great movie. Harold Shipman. Oh, we don't want him on. Have you got your zap guns ready, moderators? Where are you when I need you most? They get nutcases like this on tonight. I will be finishing early, I'm afraid. Can't abide nutcases because there's enough bloody nutcases that are making these stupid bloody laws that said about the hot cross. Have you heard about the hot cross buns, guys? With Iceland, they're taking the cross off the hot cross buns and putting stupid ticks on them. Oh, they're bloody nuts. They are. They really are. I said to me mum, she couldn't believe it. You know, take it just because one fifth of the customers would like to see ticks on bloody hot cross buns. Well, all you 1/5, you need to get some bloody sense up into your stupid heads. I wouldn't buy off Iceland. And if you're watching Boss of Iceland, you can stick your your tick cross buns where the sun don't shine. Because I'm fed up with all this crap. These managers changing things and that. You know, I've spoke a lot about this, making stupid changes like to things that are all right. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. Leave it as it is. I don't like change. Is usually not good. It's usually for the worst, guys. You know, very very rare. Once it's like in jobs or anything they're going to say they're going to change anything. You think, oh God, what are they going to change? And that, you know, most of the time, some of these organizations, like these big organizations, they start messing around with like, you know, different things and that, and they ruin the company. And you can't see us. You could go on about that forever. But yeah, change is usually a pretty bad idea. Sorry guys, I'm just getting my bearings back with that bloody idiot before. He's obviously a sado who's stuck in every weekend. Right. Richard Brown. After previews, the new Salem lot was apparently a bit of a mess. That's why it's been delayed, right? Sorry, just got a swig. Yeah, they pity didn't have anything better to do with their sad lives, these ones, the trolls and that. You know, I've seen them on other people's channels as well. They're just bloody idiots or something missing. They must have sad lives and that, as I say, you know, they must be stuck in their room and that 24/7 and that, no social life, but tap, tap, tap on the computer. Oh, whose stream can I ruin tonight and that, you know, go and get a bloody life, you saddos. You make me sick. Right, moving on. Jeff saying that new Salem's lot is supposed to be faithful to the 1979 version, even being set in the mid 1970s and having Barlow as a Nosferatu. Yeah. Sorry guys, I'm not finished. I'm just checking me watch. Kevin's saying, "Oh, the original Salem's lot is a superb. How can you compete with Reggie Nolder?" Yeah. Jeff Joffrey, David Soul's a fantastic choice back then to play Ben. Gina, yeah. Brian Gilson, the new Salem's lot had 2 test screenings and they said it was really good. Yeah. Vampire Jack. I remember seeing the original Salem's lot back in, I think, 1981 when it's been showed. It's over 2 nights. I was 6. Nightmare Fuel. Loved this. Jeff saying, I heard that, Brian Gilson. Am I dead? Yes. I seen online even Stephen King is getting annoyed at them still not releasing Salem's Lot. He posted on Twitter about it, I think it was. Oh, I didn't see that. I'll have to check that out. Lurking Crass Zero. Drew Barrymore did a movie called Doppelganger, 1993. It has a pretty insane SFX scene. I remember liking it, but it's very poorly rated on the Internet Movie Database, right? Sorry, guys, the comments acting a bit weird here. Just bear with me, guys. Just trying to get me bearings. I'm watching out for these bloody nutcases that are invading the stream as well. You know who you are. Sorry, guys, I'm just getting back to where I was. Right. I think we are there now. And we've got Brian to Jeff. I'm glad it's getting released. I can't wait to see it. Kevin, yeah, CX can be a bit expensive when buying. Vampire Jack, looks like we have an idiot who's signed. Yeah, he is an idiot. He's an idiot of the worst sort, and he wants to clear off. He wants to crawl back to what stinking slimy hole he crawled out of with his potty mouth and his stupid sentiments. Bloody sado. Go and get a bloody life, you idiots. I've seen him on other people's streams, guys. It makes me blood boil and that, you just feel like, just wonder what's going on up here with these trolls, they're just idiots, absolute fruitcakes they are. I said, moderators, just keep your eyes on them for me. I know you're doing a good job, but just be extra vigilant. I am as well. That's why if I see a strange name up here, guys, just bear with me. I'm just making sure it's not a bloody lunatic. Brian saying just got off. Thanks very much, Brian. Appreciate that, mate. Thanks very much. Yeah. Cheers, mate. Kevin, 88 Films Tygon Collection is on DVD and Blu-ray too. Yeah. Very good. Yeah, we don't want no filth on this channel either. Yeah, no filth. Vampire Jack. How about Shipman? What about him? Tony York. Not had any issues like you describe, Alan. Sounds like it could be a player issue, right? Kevin saying change the HDMI cable. Yeah, the HDMI cable what goes into the back. Yeah, I've had that one a couple of years. Yeah, it might be a good idea actually. But I want to get a good one though, Kev, that'll sort of like do the trick. But the one I was using, if my memory serves me correctly, I think that was off me PlayStation the PlayStation, of course, because it didn't have a spare HDMI cable at the time. So I thought, well, should be just as good. But it's all right. Most of the films are all right. It's just the odd one that it goes off all the times if the power stage drops and it goes back, intermittently, if you know what I mean. But I'll try that, Kev. Yeah, try a new HDMI cable. Cheers, mate. It's very annoying. Like, you get into a film and all of a sudden it just goes off, and it comes back on again, goes off, comes back on again. It doesn't just happen with Blu-rays, it happens with DVDs as well. Brian Gilson, the Vampire Jack got him too good. Bloody idiots. So bloody best things to do with his sad life. Am I dead? Yes. Lake Crash Zero. Is that the one with Lou Diamond Phillips in it too? Seen a doppelganger film one time with him in it, I'm sure, right? Jeff Joffrey, nice work, Brian. I'd certainly second that. Yeah, cheers, Brian, mate. What's this one? Lake and Crash Zero. I've heard that issue with screen going off like that. It has something to do with your telly communicating with HDMI. I'm not technically minded, but recall watching a YouTube video talking about it. Oh, right, yeah. Well, as Jeff suggested before, trying you, Jeff or Kevin, it was, I can't remember who it was, um, recommended trying a HDMI cable, which I'll do that and see if that makes a difference. Brian to Jeff, thanks. Richard Brown, Messiah of Evil is supposed to be a modern horror classic. Oh, it's terrible, Richard. It's bloody awful. It's even worse than The Bad Seed. Oh, it's terrible. But that's just my opinion. The story was there. It was all choppy. There was no real plot. It was really bad. It really was bad. Yeah, but that's just my opinion. One of the worst movies I've seen this year, actually. But as I say, like you might like it. Like if you want to check it out, I'm not trying to put you off, but it definitely wasn't for me. Tony's saying I got a gold-plated HDMI cable. Maybe that would help you, Alan. Oh yeah, I might try that. So yeah, cheers, mate. Yeah, a gold-plated one. Thanks. Am I dead yet? To Lake and Casino? No, in fact, not Diamond Phillips. Jason Scott Lee. That was in it. Oh right. Tony's saying, I'm guessing it's not real gold, lol, but I'm sure it was Marcus's gold plated. Well, if it does the trick, I'm in, yeah, yeah. I'll have a look in Tesco's, too, and see if they've got them, yeah. Or PC World, or even Amazon. Thanks. Jeff's saying to Tony, that cable could be worth 14,000. Oh, gold, yeah. Yeah, the old what's the name song? Spandau Ballet, as a Spandau Ballet gold, yeah. And we got piece of Sutcliffe, not the piece of Sutcliffe, thank God. Hi, Alan, you okay, peace? Have you seen this Satanic Rites of Cracula? It's about a vampire that hunts women and nights. Oh, no. Have we got another nutcase in? Get your what's the names ready. Get your Zap ones ready, moderators. Where are they coming from? They're coming out. They're crawling out. They're crawling out the woodwork like cockroaches, aren't they? Just crawling out and infesting the stream. Bugger off! Don't want you on my channel. Definitely something missing here. Definitely something missing. Sadly, there's all too many of these people about nowadays. Hence the business with the ticked cross buns. Bloody ridiculous, isn't it? It seems to be they're trying to do away with Christianity. It seems that way, doesn't it? Trying to sort of like do away with all the true meaning of Easter and all. I don't want to get into it, guys, but I've seen it in the papers today, seen it on the internet, and it made me blood boil. It really did. It just it's just gone terrible. It really has. These managers that get power. I don't know if they get power making these stupid daft decisions and that. Going against the people. Then they start moaning then when people say they don't like the change, bring it back to the way it was and that, yeah, they start pulling faces and that, well, too bad. If you change something for the worse, people are not gonna subscribe to you, I'm afraid. If you're an executive or a manager, a big corporation and that, you want to make these changes that are not needed, well, people just go, yeah, there you go. Moving on. Right, just getting up at the God, they're coming in thick and fast tonight, these idiots. I'm afraid that this is going to carry on tonight, guys. I'm going to be finishing early. I'm sorry about this, but I'm not tolerating foul-mouthed, stinking lunatics on my channel. So be warned, you're not welcome on my channel. Go back to your bloody late night CD club and spout your crap there, idiots. How come some of these are getting through? How come some of these are getting through tonight? There seems to be quite a lot. I'm quite puzzled, actually. As all the lunatic asylums suddenly open their doors and let them all out for free nights, have they? It seems that way. Do you want to get back? Do you want to get back? Do you want to get back to their padded cells? Yeah, idiots. And if you think you're funny spouting foul mouth crap, you're not. You're just a sad, sad, sad person. So clear off. I don't want you on my channel. Right, I might finish early tonight, guys. Actually, because I'm not putting up with this. I've come on here tonight to hold a decent, clean stream, and I'm not having bloody lunatics coming on here and ruining the stream for not only me but for everybody. Bloody stupid idiots. I could use stronger words, but I don't swear on my channel, and I'm not having bloody foul mouth, bloody losers coming on here and spouting that crap. Probably don't know the first bloody thing about films, so they're using it in other ways as sort of like trying to make themselves sound, but you probably don't know half the movies what we're talking about. So, what's that movie? I've never heard of that movie. Just imagine them, can't you? Bloody dull, blank expressions on their faces and that. Bloody stupid idiots. Okay, guys. I'm sorry about this, guys. It's I had to step up a little bit more with these trolls, otherwise I won't be coming on as much. I'm not having my stream ruined by bloody stupid idiots that probably don't know the first thing about films, probably don't know the first thing about anything, probably don't even know how to bloody spell or even read a bloody sentence. They couldn't write a story. They couldn't write a movie script, but they can't even bloody add up. Vampire Jack, here we go again. Yeah, here we go again. The stinking bloody numbskulls on again, yeah. Right, guys. Sorry about that, guys. It's just these bloody worthless stinking clowns invading the channel. Jeff Joffrey, what's about 8K? Yeah, I don't think that really that'll take off. That you got, I think 4K. I think that's about it, really. Like I think that's a few, if ever, a few years away. Yeah. Richard Brown. I've been watching the original Star Trek series on plain old DVD, and the picture is fantastic, right? Kevin, even a DVD can be good quality. Yeah, it can, Kevin. I agree with you. If you get a really good one, I've got quite a few DVDs, Kevin, my collection. The picture quality, you couldn't differentiate between between the Blu-ray and the DVD, because my mum said to me, is that a Blu-ray? No, I said it's a DVD. Oh, she says the picture quality is fantastic in that. So yeah, Lake and Crash Zero, jump scares are lazy. Yeah, I would not disagree with that. Vampire Jack. Sometimes the DVD is better than the Blu-ray. Yeah. Jeff's saying, Alan, I was looking at your books on Amazon. You have really good ideas for the short stories you wrote. Oh, thanks very much, Jeff. Yeah, I hope to write a third volume of my horror story series. Yeah, I actually hope to do a video as well, talking a bit more about me books of short stories in depth. So watch out for that. I'm a huge fan of the Pan Book of Horror Stories. I read them avidly when I was a kid. I like the. I tell you what I like, Jeff, as well. The Fontana book of great horror stories and the Fontana book of great ghost stories. I was forever borrowing them out from my local library. Absolutely loved them, and that I've started to collect all the Pan books as well. Albeit a lot of them are like sort of like well worn and at the spines and dog eared. But it's great to have them again, because I forget a lot of those stories in those old Pan books. And the Fly, the Fly, the movie that starred David Edwards, which I think is the best one. Not fussy on the Goldblum one. I think that's overrated. The Fly, the David Edison, that was based on a short story, and that's actually in one of the Pan books of horror stories I've got in my collection. It's surprising, like you get those books of horror stories, and oh, this is a movie, because a lot of these movies came from those short stories, if you know what I mean. So yeah, thanks very much, Jeff, for the compliments about my short stories. Yeah, much better ideas than what you see in movies today. Thanks very much. I appreciate that. I like to get feedback from me readers, good or bad, and that. And I always take feedback on board. Unlike a lot of these managers who are, I think, a little bit too bigoted for their own boots. You make these bloody changes, and they don't sort of they don't consider the public, that the customers and that. But I always listen to feedback and I take it on board. And if I notice a pattern on something, I address it right away. Yeah. So there you go. Tony's saying, I've been watching some Paul Nashi movies recently. Have you seen Ellie Allen? Yeah, I've seen a few. So I had his films are a bit of a hit and miss. Some of his werewolves movies, like some are good and some are bad. I did have those Paul Nashi Volume 1 and Volume 2 box sets a couple of years ago. I got them for Christmas, but the thing was with them, the bad movies outweighed the good ones, so I got rid of them. But what I've been doing, I've been buying some of Nashi's films separately. Count Dracula's Great Love is a good one. That's a good one. And I've got a werewolf one as well there. He made about 5 or 6 werewolf movies. Get mixed up with the titles, but I've got a good. I bought 2 of his werewolf movies on Blu-ray. One I liked and one I didn't. So I got rid of one and kept the other one. But yeah, his movies are a bit of a hit and miss. Richard St. Paul Nash great fun. Yeah. Vampire Jack, I dig his Wolfman movies. Yeah, well, he regarded Paul Nash as the Lon Chaney Jr. of Spain, didn't he? Because he was noted for playing the werewolf. It was a Vladimir Deminsky. I think the name was Vladimir Deminsky, the Wolfman in the Paul Nash movies. Yeah, oh yeah, he's a. But as I say again, his movies are a bit of a hit and miss for me. You know, it's a great pity those box sets where the bad movies outweigh the good ones because I would have kept them. Yeah, I always hate that when you buy a box set and most of the movies are poor and you only get one or two good ones. And that, I mean, I bought the Sandy Milligan one. You most probably know, guys, if you see me unboxing. I took a chance on this one. It was quite pricey, the Andy Milligan one, and I've you know, I haven't watched any of them yet. I've got one movie from that collection. That's Nightbirds. That's good. So if any of the other if any of the movies are as good as that, well, I'll definitely be keeping it in my collection. If I don't like the movies, I'll be flogging it on eBay. But I'm just fingers crossed that I'm not disappointed. Tell you what arrived the other day, guys, as well. Not horror related. Part two of the Abbott and Costello 1950s TV show. Have you guys seen any of Abbott and Costello's TV shows? Yeah, that arrived the other day, so I'm really excited to get that. And that, you know, I've got all the movies on Blu-ray. Haven't watched them yet. I watched a couple. I've watched them all. Yeah, so I'm looking forward to checking that out. The Abbott and Costello TV shows, what he did in the early 50s. Tony to Richard, yes, I'm enjoying them, right? Am I Dead Yet? Little Girl Lost in TZ inspired Poltergeist, didn't it? Little Girl Lost in Twilight Zone inspired Poltergeist, didn't it? I'm not too sure what you mean there. Little Girl Lost. Yeah, it might be an episode I haven't seen. Jeff said, yeah, it was an average movie. And as I say, I don't rate Jordan Peele. I'm not a fan of his. I didn't like that bloody one he done with the bloody black aliens. That last one, what was it called? That last one, something to do with aliens and the desert. That was bloody load of bloody rubbish. That was. I didn't like that. What's the name? I did that one where they had the Negro, the black family. They had doppelgangers. Us. I didn't like that. I didn't like that. I thought that was weird. That real weird movie. And I liked, as I said before, I love doppelganger movies. I thought when I first bought, I thought I was rubbing me out. Oh, this is going to be good. This doppelganger. Huh, was I disappointed, guys? Bloody hated it. Richard Brown, The Little Girl Lost Story was by Richard Matheson too. Oh right, yeah. I don't think I've read that one. I've got Richard Matheson's book of short stories. I haven't read them all yet. I'll have to check that one out. Richard. Am I Dead Yet? Definitely overrated. Guess Out shouldn't have been nominated for Best Picture at Oscars. Yeah, I wasn't keen on it. I'm not, as I said, I'm not a fan of his, Jordan Peele. Vampire Jack Alan, would you welcome a remake of The Keep? And if so, movie or TV miniseries? I haven't seen the Keep Vampire Jack for years, so I don't remember too much about it. It's to do with soldiers, isn't it? And is it in this big castle in World War Two? I don't remember. I don't remember the story, but I have seen it. I think I rented it out on the old VHS. You know, when I first got my video recorder in 1986. But yeah, I don't remember too. I'll have to revisit that one. The Keep. Richard saying Jordan Peele's Oscar was a political move by the Academy after George Floyd. Yeah, well, ever since that happened, it's been what's the name? It's got more and more widespread, hasn't it? All this sort of thing. Yeah, Disney and that, you know. Am I dead? Yes. Oh no, a troll again. Possibly a plural. The trolls. Yeah. Well, they're not bloody welcome on my channel. They can just clear off. They go and crawl back into the woodwork where they came from, the stinking hole where they came from. I can't stand anybody like that. I really can't. Brian Gilson, don't worry, Alan, got rid of them. Yeah, yeah, that's hope they don't resurface again. They're bloody nuisances. Am I dead yet? Richard Brown, think Guess House came out before George Floyd died, or I'm not too sure. Brian, the other ones have been deleted too. Oh, thanks very much. Yeah, they're bloody nuisances. What's puzzling me is when you delete them, how come they come? What did he do? Did he create another quick bogus account? Do they so enable them to get access again? Is that what they do? If you delete them once, if they come back on again, create a quick YouTube profile. I'd be very interested to learn about them, so I can smell them a mile away, like a pile of stinking excrements. Yeah, don't like people like that thrive on it, doing anything like that. They just don't interest me. Would never entertain them on my channel. Vampire Jack, it did. Am I dead? Yes, Richard Brown. Or you talking about another film? Richard Brown, I stand corrected. Um, Jeff Joffrey, I bought my hot cross buns at Sainsbury's. They had crosses on. They had crosses on too. I'm glad to hear they had crosses on. Yeah, a lot of people are furious over that, Jeff, what that Iceland's doing. A bloody stupid, an example of it, pure idiocy. Bloody manager taking off the bloody cross off the hot cross buns and putting a tick. Bloody idiots. Words fail me. How are these people getting into high positions, guys? This is what I want to know. How are these people getting such high positions? Managers making these stupid decisions and that, changing things. And as I say, 99.9% of the time, changing for the bloody worst. Yeah, they need to be sacked and you want to get sensible people in these offices. Tony York, it's a great pity. They've nothing better to worry about except our cross buns. Priorities. I know, yeah, it's bloody stupid, isn't it? Priorities are wrong. They want you to be addressing like the bloody the business and that. Are people going to still have their jobs? That's something we should be bloody thinking of, making stupid bloody decisions and that. It's like some of these companies and that changing the different things about the staff and that, telling them what to dress and what not to dress and that, saying you can come into work scruffy and that, it's bloody ridiculous and that. It's getting scruffier and scruffier, some of these corporations and that, you ought to think, they work in certain organizations, like, because I can remember one time you had to be very, very smart and well turned out to get a job in a certain organization. You had to be very smart and well groomed and that, but they don't seem to care now. Some of them, they're just letting them wear anything, sloppy gear and that, which is all right. You have a dressing down day. I know when I've worked in offices in the past, you have a Friday as a dressing down day. That's fine. You come in your jeans and your trainers and that, but I don't agree with it every day of the week. Coming in like in a sloppy dress and that, after all, especially if you're in the service industry and you're presenting an image to people, you're representing that brand, and if you're not well turned out, people are going to say he's a scruffy, she's a scruffy, bleep bleep. It's true. It's all right. Some of these people saying, well, a tie doesn't really matter now as long as they can do their job. It does matter. I don't want to go on too much about it, guys, but attire does matter. And if you're not well presented, you're not smartly dressed, and you're not turned out, people are going to look down the noses at you, and it's going to have repercussions about the company, and it's going to look very bad. I know if I was the manager, I would like to present the best possible image of my company. I'm sure you guys would as well, and that, so, or you could go on about that till the cows come home, guys, couldn't you? Am I dead yet? I watched Stephen King's Needful Things last weekend. First time, seen it for years. Definitely an underrated SK film novel. Yeah. Vampire Jack. I don't want to offend with hot cross buns, but no issue offending with what's that? Halsel meat. Never heard of that. Oh, here's that. Here's Nigel. Okay, Nigel, mate. It's Big Bulbasaur. How you doing, mate? I'm not too bad, thanks, Nigel. How are you, mate? Have you been watching The Fly with his Big Bulbasaur? Yeah, I'm not too bad, thanks, Nigel. Yeah, I've been watching any good films lately. Yeah, I'm sorry about the nutcases before. If you were watching, they trying to sabotage the Scream. Yeah, I suppose like you've had more than your fair share of them your time, haven't you? Yeah, well, they're not welcome on this channel. Nah, well, thankfully, I've got some good moderators who keep an eye on them and that. So it's good to have you along, Nige. Anyway, yeah. Cheers, mate. Kevin William Wardle just come back from putting the Tesco home delivery away, right? Kevin William Wardle, brain dead, Alan. Brain dead. Wasn't the two brain deads? Wasn't the one with the one that was very, very, very graphic? I haven't seen that one. But there's another brain dead as well, which I think was it on 88 Films. I'm sure it was on 88 Films. I wasn't too keen on that one, but I would like to see that other one, the one that's hard to guess. I believe that's quite gory, that one. Jeff Joffrey, I've been watching those unintentionally creepy kids claymation shorts made in the 1930s. Oh, I haven't seen them. Those unintentionally creepy kids claymation shorts made in the 1930s, though. I'll tell you what's quite good, Jeff. I don't know if you've watched them or not. Some of those short horror stories what have been made by ordinary people and amateur directors. There's some right creepy ones in them. And yeah, some of them about 5 or 10 minutes long. And I thought to myself, they'd make good movies, them. Really creepy in that, you know. Like, for instance, like a girl standing on a railway station at night and actually sees a figure across the platform, and that's like a demon. Oh, yeah, they're really creepy, them. The creepy pasta, I think they're called, aren't they? I've watched a couple of them. They're very good, yeah. And also, I can recommend them that. You know those ones where they show you photographs of real life people, like they could be on holiday, I don't know, Australia, and something horrible happens afterwards, shortly afterwards, and that, or the photographs got sinister connotations, like for instance, like you picture of maybe a fella in a Santa Claus outfit, and he could be a criminal. You know, oh yeah, they're really good. Yeah, they show you about 10 or 20 photographs, and they say like strange, weird photographs and that connected with horrific cases and that. They're very, very disturbing. Some of them. You got some good stuff on you got some good stuff on on YouTube and that, you know. Kevin's saying, Alan, guess a HDMI cable with gold connections. Spend a bit and get good quality. I will do, Kev. If that solves the problem of the picture intermittently going, you know, flashing black and going black and then coming back on again, I'll do that. And yeah, fingers crossed it will do the trick. Thanks very much for recommending that, Kev. Yeah, it's a bloody nuisance, like, you know, the picture going off all the time and that, you know, it's just ruining the enjoyment of the movies. Tony saying, why don't these people start their own streams if they want attention so badly? Yeah, they're just pathetic attention seekers. To be honest with you, so I don't think they know the first thing about doing a bloody stream, or you wouldn't know the first thing about it being on anybody else's as a guest, because that's how bloody stupid they seem to be in that, you know, going on other people's streams and making fools of themselves. That's all they're doing. That you know, they're making fools of themselves, and as I've seen them on other people's streams as well. And you know, people are talking to each other, and you get idiots. You might get an idiotic thing coming up all of a sudden. Like, I shake my head, and you know, weird. I think, what the bloody hell did he get out of that? You know, oh, they're just bloody idiots. They really are. Jeff's saying the woke crazies ban, ladies and gentlemen. I know, yeah, they did, yeah, yeah. The certain airline did that, didn't they? One or two airlines banned ladies and gentlemen. Just bloody stupid, you know. And some of the and some of the what's the name as well. I'm making all sorts of stupid changes and that, you know. As I said before, you could go on about it all the time, you know. Ridiculous. We had quite a few banned and deleted tonight, haven't we? See, let's hope they go and never darken this stream again. Never darken this doorstep again. Kevin's saying, well done, Brian. Thanks, mate. Idiots. They are idiots. I can think of a stronger term, a much stronger term to describe them. Brian's saying to Kevin, yeah, thanks. Yeah, good job, moderators. Kevin, pathetic losers. They are pathetic losers, yeah. Totally agree. Yeah, cheers, Brian, mate. Melanie's here. You okay, Mel? Thanks for stopping by. It's always nice to see you. Hope you've had a good week and you've been watching some good films. Kevin's saying 4K isn't that big of a seller, apparently, compared to DVDs and Blu-rays. Yeah, yeah. Well, while we're on the subject of physical media, I just hope it never goes out. You know, it never goes away. I love physical media. I love collecting me movies and that and showing them on, you know, having a hard copy. Because the thing is with streaming, they might, well, you know, guys, what I'm going to say. They might put a movie on and they might make changes to that movie, and they might even take it off altogether. So what are you left with? You're left with bloody, you know, a half-cut film that's been sort of like cut and cut to virtually like, 60 minutes and that, you know. They're even cutting the carry-on movies now. They're just cutting everything. The madness needs to stop. You know, after all, it's only harmless entertainment, isn't it? What harm are people doing watching mild, not really over the top movie, as long as there's no things like animal cruelty and things like that, or other unsavory things. What harm is those movies doing? Mary Poppins was the limit. Oh, that was just the limit. That I can't believe what they've done to, or what they're gonna do to Mary Poppins. Oh, bloody nuts they are, they really are. Melanie's saying, what are people's views on the trailer for the Crow remake? Well, not being a huge fan of the Crow, Mel, I'd have to pass on that. But and if you guys seen the any of the Crow movies and that, what's your feelings there? As Melanie's just asked, what's your views on the trailer for the for the Crow remake? Vampire Jack looks, yeah, Shite. Jeff's saying, Alan, have you seen the Spanish Dracula movies made the same time as Bela Lugosi did? Dracula, they're very similar. Yeah, I've got the Universal Blu-ray box set, and the Dracula. Bela Lugosi has also got the Spanish Dracula. It's quite good. Yeah, yeah. I started to get the 4K. This was before I discovered how dark the 4K is. Where I got some of the Universal monsters on 4K. Now, I believe the Spanish. Excuse me, just got a bit of a dry throat. I believe the Spanish Dracula movie is also on the 4K. Yeah, it's quite good. I've only watched it once, Jeff, but yeah, I like it. It's good. It's just as good as the Bela Lugosi one. Yeah, and I like the Christopher Lee Spanish Dracula as well. You know the Jess Franco one. But granted, it's not in the vein of the Hammer Draculas and that yet, which I love. You know, and always will. But it's pretty enjoyable for what it was and that. You know. But yeah, I don't mind the Spanish Dracula. Kevin's saying, I love Werewolf versus the Vampire Woman. Yeah, that's a good one, that. I like that one. Yeah, it's a great one, that. Am I Dead? Yes. Nope. That's the one. Is that the one with the Jordan Peele? What I said before about the aliens? Yeah, nope, that's the one. I couldn't think of the title for the life of me. Nope, that's the one. Tony's saying, hi, Alan. Hope you are well. Mass. Oh, yeah, yeah, I'm not too bad, thanks. So hope you are. Hope you're good as well. Yeah. Um, Jeff's saying one of my favourite episodes of the Twilight Zone was the one when three astronauts disappear one by one. Episode called "And Then the Sky Was Opened." Yeah, I think I know the one you mean. I don't remember too much about it, but it does ring a bell. There's so many episodes, wasn't it, at that Twilight Zone, Jeff? Oh yeah, was it about was it 135 or 140? I know there's a lot of episodes of it. I did get the remakes of that series that was made in the was it the 1980s. I didn't care for them, so I didn't keep them. But I love the original ones with Rod Serling. I think they're classics. Them. I'll tell you what I used to get as well, Jeff. I used to get the Twilight Zone magazine, what was published in the 1980s. I used to love that. I loved the Twilight Zone, but I didn't like the remakes. Tony's saying, I see they have remade The Omen again. Yeah, another remake. Yeah, I think they should have left that there. The Omen. You know, I think they're going a bit too much now with these remaking classics and that. I think they're going a bit too far. Vampire Jack. What Hammer horror movie would you like to see remade with a big budget? I don't think I'd like to see any Hammer horror movie remade with a big budget because I don't think anybody can top Christopher Lee for playing Count Dracula. I don't think anybody can top Peter Cushing for playing Baron Frankenstein. But so if Hammer did come back and he wants to do a big lapse production, I think I would love to see a different kind of story. Um, I'll give you an example. You know, Veronica Carlson and a couple of other Hammer stars. They a couple of years ago they made a movie that you would swear it was a Hammer movie. It was called, I think it was called the Night of the Gorgon. Yeah, it was like yeah. By all accounts, it was like very much like a Hammer movie. It's very hard to get now. I think Carol Munro was in it as well, and you know the guy that was in Dracula AD 1972, the guy that played Dracula's disciple Alucard, he's in it as well. Obviously much older now, like in that, but yeah. So if Hammer did come back in earnest, I mean, you know, like the old Hammer. I don't mean like a I don't mean like a poor imitation of Hammer. If Hammer did come back with all guns blazing, I think they should do a different kind of story. I don't think they should go back. Or maybe if they did a vampire story, maybe they could do something like Count Yorga, but they'd have to get a really good fella to play, the vampire. I don't think anybody can top Christopher Lee playing Count Dracula. I've always stood by that. I always will. There was a lad in my school, going back to secondary school in the early 70s, and you talk about me being mad on Christopher Lee. This lad, he was absolutely lived and breathed Christopher Lee playing Dracula. It's all he ever spoke about. When he used to bump into him going back to school every dinner hour, Christopher Lee's on tonight. He used to rub his hands like that. Taste of the Dracula's on tonight. Dracula's risen from the graves on tonight, and he'd know every line in the movie and that, you know. And he used to get a kick out of acting out Dracula's deaths and that, the part where Dracula falls on the cross, and he used to act it out in the playground. And he's ridden about like that with the cross sticking out of his coming through his chest and that. He's mad on Dracula, Christopher Lee, and that, you know. But of course, like when he started talking to me, we were like-minded souls and that, you know. But he was really mad on Christopher Lee, you know, playing Count Dracula, and he liked Peter Cushing as well, playing Baron Frankenstein. But yeah, getting back to your question, what Hammer horror movie would you like to see remade with a big budget? So that should be a different kind of Hammer. You know, like for example, I don't know, The Woman in Black was okay. It wasn't great. It was okay. I did not like the sequel, but I thought Daniel Radcliffe did a pretty good job playing the main protagonist. I got that on Blu-ray, the Woman in Black. But I thought the series was even more. Well, the BBC movie was even more terrifying. One certain scene in that, guys, I think you know the one I mean, involving late at night and in a bedroom. So that's all I'm going to say. Nothing naughty, away, missus, but something very, very scary in the middle of the night at the foot of the bed. So you know what I mean, yeah. Right, moving on. We've got Lurking Crass Zero. I rewatched Tales That Witness Madness 1973 the other day. Not seeing it since I was a wee kid. Great seeing it on Blu-ray, and it's still pretty creepy, yeah. The trolls on here need to grow the hell up. The trolls do need to grow the hell up, and they need to never come back to this YouTube, because they're just not this channel, this stream. They're just not wanted. And I've got my trusty army of moderators around me and that. So if there's any nonsense, you'll be zapped. So don't even bother contemplating coming on and trying to steal the show, because you'll just be ignored. You'll be just zapped. So just, yeah, bear that in mind. Right. Jeff saying to Lake and Crass Zero, Jack Hawkins' his last film, I think. I think it was his last movie, Jeff. It comes to think of it, Jack Hawkins. Yeah, I love Tales of Witness Madness. I don't understand these people saying, it wasn't as good as The Amicus. It was. I thought it was very good. Yeah, that one with Michael Jaston in, and Joan Collins, where he cuts the plant down. That weird. Well, it's like a tree trunk, isn't it, with arms and that? And he takes it back to the house, and he puts it in bed and that, and he puts it in front of the fire, and he says, "Do you love me? Do you love me?" I thought, that was bloody hilarious. That, it really was. It's a great one. Oh, I love Tales of Witness Madness. I think it's a great little horror anthology movie. I love my horror anthology movies, guys. I really do. Well, if you've been watching my channel, for quite some time, you'll know how much I love my horror anthology movies. Now, those movies, along with Hammer, Hammer and Amicus, they were a big staple of my teen years. Growing up, I used to get the paper and see if there was a horror movie on. Oh yeah, and my family, most of my family are all horror movie fans now, all made up to see. Oh, tonight Christopher Lee's on tonight as Dracula, or Peter Cushing's on 10:30. Oh, it's great times. And that I remember as well when he'd done the double bill on a Saturday night. When he'd show one black and white one, and he's showing a modern one, like he Scouser Dracula, or Curse of Frankenstein. He's showing an old Universal one, like the Wolfman, Frankenstein meets the Wolfman. And oh yeah, they were great. I used to love the Saturday night double bill of horror movies. But oh yeah, it's great times then. Little did I know that one day I'd own them all in my collection. Never ever dreamed I'd own them, especially in DVD and Blu-ray and that, and I'd never even heard of, and that, it was all in those days. The nearest you could get to aspiring to own your own horror movies was dreaming that one day you get a projector and be content with just the tape and that. But we've moved on, guys, haven't we? We've really moved on. Kevin's saying those idiots are not genuine people, Alan. No, they're bloody idiots. They're bloody. As I say, I can think of stronger words, Kevin, to describe them. They're just bloody fools. They probably wouldn't know the first thing about movies. Vampire Jack Tony. It's a prequel to The Omen. I've heard it's a prequel. Yeah. Jeff Joffrey, Omen 2. Omen 2 was a really good sequel in 1978. Yeah, that part where the woman's attacked by the big black beard in the street by a car. Is it in the streets or in the country? Pecks her eyes out. Oh yeah, and the daggers and that in that in Will into he plunged into William Holden. Oh yeah, it's a great one that. Omen 2. He's in in the part the ice scene where the guy's under the ice and he can't get him out. He's floating under the ice. That's a great one. That Omen 2. Tony's saying, yeah, Vampire Jack, but the thing I didn't get, Vampire Jack, but the thing I don't get is Damien's mother is human. I thought she was a jackal. Yeah, there's a little bit of what's the name about that? Yeah, the jackal part and that. Yeah, yeah, I know what you mean. So, Vampire Jack, good points. Am I dead yet, guys? Do you like Harmony Korine's film? I've never heard of him. Harmony was that Harmony Korine's films? I've never heard of him. Nigel saying, I missed the trolls, Al, but I know exactly how you feel, mate. Just completely ignore them. Yeah, that's what I'm doing, Nigel. Yeah, they're not worth your breath or energy. I watched The Green Room the other night. Great little horror film. Oh, I believe it's good, that nice, The Green Room. Yeah, isn't that fella there out of Star Trek? It's a Patrick Stewart. Yeah, I've heard good things about that. And he just brought out the Blu-ray, haven't he? I might get that. Yeah, yeah, I've heard very good things about that. Yeah, I'm glad you enjoyed it, Nigel. Yeah, cheers, mate. Um, we've got Vampire Jack again. It seems that another Return of the Living Dead movie is on the way. Oh, another one. How do you all feel about this? Well, I'd have to see it. I'd have to have a look at the trailer first. I'd reserve my judgment until I see the trailer. But I've got I tell you what I've done. I've ordered I'm not really crazy about them, but just to complete me George A. Romero, I've ordered my George A. Romero collection, Land of the Dead, and I've ordered the Dawn of the Dead remake because I've only seen them once many years ago, and I don't remember too much about them. So I've ordered them and that. They should be next week. Hopefully, they'll have the slip covers, but I'm not building my hopes too high. So yeah, so I think that there'll only be one. Then I've got to get. Is it Diary of the Dead? Is that the last? Was that the last George A. Romero one? The Diary of the Dead. But I've got them. Yeah, so they'll be in the if not the next pickups video, they'll be in the pickups video after that. So, but my favorite George A. Romero movie was the very first one, the Night of the Living Dead. I love that one. Yeah. Oh God, and the ending. Oh my days. Oh, talk about a kick in the face. But yeah, I love that one. The Night of the Living Dead, in 1968. Tony's saying, "Where's the new Salem's Lot trailer? I want to see. I think everybody wants to see the new Salem's Lot trailer, don't they? We've been waiting for ages, haven't we? Just like Wolf Creek. Wolf Creek 3. I'm giving up hope that's ever going to surface. To be honest with you, I think once it was John Jarvis that played Mick Taylor. Once he started getting involved in the TV series, I think the third Wolf Creek movie is at the moment fallen by the wayside. If you ask me, But oh yeah, it'd be nice to see like a third Wolf Creek. Because I love Wolf Creek. I love the Australian setting as well. The outback and that, and the scene with the kangaroos and that. Oh yeah, it really brutal those Wolf Creek movies and that. He's like the Norman Bates, isn't he, of Australia? Only he's much more vicious than that, and he's less sort of like what's the word? He's less sympathetic. He's a real brutal, evil killer, isn't he? That's actually based on a true case, isn't it? Called was it the backpack killer, the Wolf Creek? Yeah, I believe it was based on loosely based, as is often the case with these movies, very loosely based on the Australian backpack killer. Yeah, but getting back to the Salem's Lot trailer, yeah, it'll be when it comes out. I think everybody will be cheering, won't they? Oh, we finally see it, and everybody will be interested to see how the vampire compares to the other one, the vampire in the 1979 one, and that terrible one with was it Rob Lowe and Rutger Hauer. That was terrible. That was made in 2004 or 2005. That was awful, that one. But yeah, it'd be interesting to see. Was it Reggie Nalder, the guy that played Nosferatu vampire in the David Soul one. I think it was Reggie Nolder. But yeah, he's the standard by which this one will be judged, definitely. Nigel's saying, I watched Hacksaw Ridge last night. Great movie, great war movie. Jesus, I looked up 3 times. I don't normally like war films, but by God, this was absolutely outstanding. It's great, Nigel. Yeah, I've seen that one. Yeah, I might get that for my collection. Yeah, Hacksaw Ridge, all really brutal battle scenes. Yeah, it's a great one, that, mate. Yeah, I'll definitely watch that again. I like a good war movie. And as I say, I believe I said on the stream, Scott stream, I like a lot of when I watch a war movie, I like the battle scenes as well. I don't like them talking in a room all the time and pointing at charts. I don't like those kind of war movies, like more diplomacy than actual battles. I like the big battle scenes and that. My dad was a big fan. He loved his war movies, and my dad, God rest his soul, he was a huge fan of the German, the German World War II movies now, fighting the Russians and that, oh yeah, I love a good battle scene. Yeah, it's a great one, that Nige Hacksaw Ridge. Yeah, it's one of the best war movies I've ever seen. Yeah, and we've got Lurking Crass Zero. You're going to watch Stop Motion 2023, Alan. It looks really good, mate. I haven't heard much. I haven't heard too much about that. Stop motion. I'll have to watch the. I'll have to watch it. Is that it? Is that a horror movie? Is it? Or is it a thriller? I'll have to. Check that out. Yeah. And we've got Tony saying, they are also changing certifications on some movies. For instance, Mary Poppins, yeah, it's going to be a PG. Bloody stupid clowns. Mary Poppins, what's scary and disturbing in Mary Poppins? Bloody ridiculous. Guys, I don't want to go on so much about this. Makes my blood boil. You've got harmless movies like what all the family can watch, and they're coming up with these bloody crazy notions that somehow they're offensive to what a bloody tiny fraction on a pinhead, what you could put on a pinhead of the population might be offended. Oh God, go get a bloody life, for goodness sake. I hope this all comes to a head soon, guys, and it just blows over and that, just like the all this sort of like the physical media. I hope like the streaming doesn't sort of like phase out physical media. I hope like all this sort of like the streaming eventually implodes on itself, and people start buying physical media more and more. Because I love physical media. I know a lot of YouTubers are, big fans of physical media, and I say more power to physical media. Because I say there's nothing compares to buying a movie and putting it on your shelf and saying I can just get it whenever you want. You feel like watching a Hammer film, Universal film, war film, a true life drama. It's there on your shelf. Whereas if you're becoming more and more reliant on streaming, and as I said before, they could make changes to it. They could cut it and cut it and cut it. Often, most of the time, needlessly, you've got what you'd ended up with. Maybe what a 90-minute film could end up like barely 60 minutes long. So yeah, I don't think you can beat collecting physical media. And I just hope it never dies out. I'm sure it won't. So oh yeah, huge fan of physical media. Yeah, but that's ridiculous. That so saying about Mary, what you just said about Mary Poppins, I totally agree. It's just rubbish. What they're doing with the James Bond books as well and the James Bond films. Oh come on, they were part of that time. What's the problem? They did the same with Enid Blyton. Oh, it just goes on, guys. It just makes me blood boil. They're just trying to erode our entertainment, and they think like we're not noticing, but by George, we are noticing. So let's just say, in the end, it'll implode on itself, and things get back to some semblance of normality. Tony's saying, these idiots editing harmless films. I know, yeah, that's what I just said. Could be much better employed doing something useful. Yeah, definitely. Melanie's saying, I'm a huge fan of the original Crow film. As I say, I've never seen that, Mel. I believe it's a legacy to Brandon Lee, who sadly lost his life making this. Oh, I didn't know that, but don't really fancy the remake at all. No, no. As I say, like I can't really comment on that. Tony's saying, I just got the Twilight Zone Blu-ray box. Will take ages to get through. Oh yeah, I've got the Blu-ray, the original Twilight Zone. Oh yeah, yeah. It's a great series. That I love the. I tell you guys, a series I'd love to get hold of. It's very hard to get. It's a series very much in the vein of the Twilight Zone, and it's a series called Monsters. Now, it's basically it is what it says to be. Every episode has a monster of some kind in it. I say along the lines of the Twilight Zone, but I've never seen one single episode of Monsters. And you can get this big box set, but it's very, very hard to get. Very hard to get now. But I'd love to get it. Monsters it's called. So if you ever see it on eBay at a reasonable price, snap it up. I'm definitely going to snap it up if I see it. Yeah, it's called Monsters. I think it was made in the 1990s. I'm not 100% sure. But have a look for it anyway. Monsters, I believe it's very good. Yeah, different monster in each episode. Tony's saying my favourite episode of Twilight Zone was when Burgess Meredith was a reader. Oh, I know the one you mean. Yeah, and he breaks his glasses. I know the one you mean. Burgess Meredith, very fine actor. He was very, very good playing the Penguin in the Batman in 1960s TV series, and he was good in that one with Anthony Hopkins, Magic. The ventriloquist store where it gradually takes him over. Yeah, and it wasn't Burgess Meredith in wasn't he in the one of the Rocky films, or he's in some of the Rocky films? It's years and years since I saw the Rocky films. I'm sure he was in one of them, Burgess Meredith. Kevin's saying, I want to get Eskimo Nell from 88 Films, which apparently was based on Tony Tenser from Tygon Films and the head of AIP. Good cast too, Roy Kinnear. I used to like Roy Kinnear. Yeah. And Christopher Timothy. Oh, yeah, the fellow from All Creatures Great and Small. I loved Roy Kinnear and Taste of Blood of Dracula, the part where he's at the beginning, where he's sort of like, he hears Dracula scream and he gets kicked out the coach, doesn't he? And he runs along the forest and he hears Dracula screaming and he's seeing Dracula dying on the cross and he scoops up all his belongings, his blood. He puts his powdered blood in a vial, doesn't he? Yeah, he's great, Roy Kinnear. Yeah, Inside George. He made that series as well called Inside George Webley or Webley. And he was also in Man About the House, the handyman, George's Mace. Yeah. Oh, he's a great actor, Roy Kinnear. Yeah, he's great. God rest his soul. Am I Dead? Yes. It's a Vampire Jack. The Devil Rides Out, maybe. Yeah. Christopher Lee, I believe just before he died, he was getting quite excited about a Devil Rides Out remake. Yeah, he seemed to be pretty optimistic, Christopher Lee, that it was actually going to be made, So I don't know what happened there, but I do love The Devil Rides Out, yeah. The original one from 1968, yeah, great movie. And for once, Christopher Lee plays a goodie, guys, doesn't he? Yeah, yeah. The Duke de Richelieu, I believe he was called. Yeah, love The Devil Rides Out, classic. Jeff saying Burgess is great in Torture Garden. Yeah, he plays Satan, doesn't he? Or Dr. Diablo. I love Torture Garden. It's a great one. That I love big hot anthology movies. Yeah, Vampire Jack, good call. Yeah. Tony's saying, I love the Poe story in Torture Garden. Oh, yeah, the man who collected Poe with Jack Palance and Peter Cushing. That's a great one. That, well, they're all great in that. Yeah, I love Torture Garden. Yeah. Jeff saying to Tony Crosby, yes, Palance and Cushing. That's right. Yeah. Jack Palance and Peter Cushing. Torture Garden. I watch it twice a year. I never get bored. I love it. Yeah, I never get bored of it. It's a great little movie. As I say, like hot anthology movie. Oh, I didn't show you guys, did I? I got a book for Christmas all about anthology movies. It's got like virtually every single horror anthology movie you could possibly think of under the sun. Yeah, it's hang on, guys. Let's see if I can get it for you. Just hang on a second, guys. Just bear with me. Yeah, guys, I've got it here. Here you go. That's the one. Horror anthologies. Great book, guys. There's the back. The creep show guy there. Yeah. This is described that there's got 148 horror anthology film reviews. Yeah. I like the way they've done it, like in comic form. You like the Tales from the Crypt. Go, guys, get a good look at that. packed with information on anthology movies. This book contains 148 reviews of horror anthology films rated and documented by film critic Steve Hutchinson, listed in chronological order. Each spread consists of a three paragraph review, a global synopsis, 5 global ratings, a summary, and a rating of each segment, a list of pertaining genres and moods, and a checkbox to keep track of what you've seen. So there you go, guys. If you love your horror anthology movies, there's your little Bible here. There you go. Yeah. Yeah. It's a great book. As I say, like if you love your horror anthologies as much as I do, this is a must for your bookshelf, yeah. Really love this book, yeah. All favourites are here. Tales from the Crypt, a lot of horror anthology movies here, guys. That's a good one, guys. Quicksilver Highway. That's a good one. I've never even heard of, So yeah, as I say, well worth picking up if you're into your horror anthology movies. Yeah, so there you go. That's horror anthologies. Yeah, great book. Right, guys, we've got about 10 minutes to go. So if you want to get as many questions in as you like, I'll try and get through as many as I can before I love yous and leave yous all at 10 o'clock. I'm sorry about the idiots, guys, spoiling streams tonight. Doing my best to eradicate them, keep them at bay. And thanks very much, my fellow guardians of the Alan Scouser live stream, for quelling them, stopping them in their tracks. Yeah, we don't want those sorts of idiots on this channel. I just won't tolerate it, spouting nonsense and that. As I say, they want to crawl back into whatever stinking cockroach infested hole they crawled out of. Like that's all. That's how I compared them to bloody cockroaches. Idiots got nothing better to do. Right, back to the comments. Kevin William Wardle. I love the Hammer Horror magazine from the 70s. Yeah, me too. I collected that avidly. I used to always pick them up while on holidays in the UK. I love that. Yeah, I love that. I always got them. Those Hammer Horror. I wish I still had them now. Yeah, I suppose they're going for a song now on eBay, aren't they? Those Hammer Horror magazines. They were great. Them. Yeah, I love the way they sort of like they done the comics and they done like the articles, didn't they? So it was a good mixture. Another good one of mine was favorite of mine was Famous Monsters of Filmland. That was one of the favorites of mine. That was an American magazine that concentrated more on photographic stills and articles about the horror actors and that. Lon Chaney Jr., Karloff, Lugosi. Yeah, used to love that one. Famous Monsters of Filmland. Am I Dead Yet? What actors would be in the new Hammer films if they came out? British actors, I take it. From the top of my head, I can't really think of anybody that's outstanding enough that I would like to see in a Hammer horror movie. All my favorites are gone. Peter Cushing, Christopher Lee, Michael Gough, Vincent Price, or if you want to go spread a fair out of Hammer, he made a lot of movies with Roger Corman, didn't he? Vincent Price. But yeah, I can't think off the top of my head. Yeah, very, very hard to live up to the Hammer, the classic Hammer, in my opinion. Tony Crosby, I've still got mine. Keith, Kevin, and my DC horror comics. Yeah, and the DC horror comics had a very, very interesting, engrossing title called The Witching Hour, which had 3 witches, and it was very much along the lines of Tales from the Crypt, because you get each witch telling a different story. You get the glamorous witch, the long blonde hair, and the slit dress, and then you get the ugly witch, and you get the fat witch, the big fat witch, and that. I love The Witching Hour, and I'd love them to do like what they've done with the Creepy and Eerie archive volumes, bring out a big compendium of The Witching Hour. That was a big favourite of mine in the early 70s. Great little comic, The Witching Hour. Vampire Jack. Any long-standing standalone horror movies you'd like a sequel to? Any long-standing standalone horror movies I'd like a sequel to? Oh, let me think now. I'm trying. This is a difficult one because there's so many. Would they work as a sequel though? This is it. Like the solid storyline. If they say, like, for instance, The Man Who Haunted Himself, if they made a sequel to that, would it be as good as the Roger Moore one? I doubt it very much. Look at The Exorcist. What happened with that? Exorcist Believer. A lot of people, didn't like it. And that, and like if you say like Psycho movies, like Psycho 2, that was a very, very pleasing exception. The Psycho 2. A lot of people like Psycho 2 better than the first Psycho, don't they? Bride of Frankenstein was another example, a great sequel to a great, debut by Boris Karloff. He excelled himself even more in the Bride of Frankenstein. Yeah. It's very, very hard, that one. Long-standing standalone horror movies like this. I'd have to think about that. Vampire Jack. Am I Dead? Yes. I think Emily Blunt's, Florence Pugh, Carey Mulligan, and a few others could be good. Mina Harker's Blunt may be a bit too old now, though. Yeah. I tell you, it's just coming to my mind that question before about any standalone horror movies I like to see a sequel to. Now, this is going back to one a very, very big favourite of mine, guys. I've spoke about this many, many times on my channel, and guys, I'd highly recommend it. It's a movie called The Sweet Sound of Death, and it's a really good movie. I love it. I love it to bits. I've watched it many times. Got the DVD of it. It's about this girl, girl and boy. This couple, and what they do. He stopped by this graveyard and that, then the car and that, and he stopped by this graveyard and he was wandering around the graves and that. And the girl makes a weird pact. She said, the first one to die, the first one of us to die will come back to the others to let them know there's an afterlife and that. And something horrible happens to the girl and that, and it goes very good, goes down a very, very dark path, guys. And that lovely looking girl, yeah, long blonde hair and that, but also it's a great movie and that, The Sweet Sound of Death, it's called. I first watched it on Amazon Prime, and I loved the movie that much. I would compare it to like movies like The Haunting, movies like that, The House on Haunted Hill, classic horror, black and white like it. Well, it's great. It's a great little movie. I love it. The Sweet Sound of Death, and it's a real good story. It doesn't have to resort to cheap jump scares and that. You really get invested in the character, and you really feel sorry for the boy when he loses his girl and that. She's supposed to have died in this plane. There's a lot of mystery. It goes down a very, very dark pattern. She's supposed to have died in the plane, but actually really died. She really died in a plane crash. And if she is dead, is he getting these? Is there a ghost that's haunting them? Oh, it's very good, guys. It's got a twist at the end. Yeah. So make a note of it. The Sweet Sound of Death from 1965. It's very good. I hope you do a Blu-ray of it. It's very good. Another good one, another good old black and white one, standalone one is Haunted. That's another like ghostly type story and that, But I would like, yeah. So getting back to your question before about would I like to see a sequel, any standalone? Yeah, maybe The Sweet Sound of Death. Maybe if they could do something with that, or even remake it and that, in color, because it definitely merits a remake. It really does. Yeah. So, but yeah, quite a difficult question that. Anyway, I've got a couple of minutes to get through some of these comments. Tony Crosby, I hated the Coppola and the recent BBC Dracula. Yes, same here. I didn't like them. Yeah, Kevin's saying Jack Hawkins was dubbed in Tales that Witness Madness as he had throat cancer. I believe he was. Yeah. Jeff's saying, yeah, I think only 62 when he died, Kev. Yeah. Very sad about Steve Hall. He wasn't Cockney Rebel. Yeah, I loved them. Yeah, big staple of me 1970s, buying pop records. I loved Steve Harley, Cockney Rebel. Yeah, Judy Teen was a big favourite of mine. Judy Teen, yeah. And of course, Come Up and See Me, Make Me Smile. Yeah, very, very sad news. Yeah, love Steve Harley. Kevin, Friday night was horror night in the North during the early 70s. It certainly was. And going back even further, when it was in the late 60s, Monday night, when he used to show the Universal horror movies in sequential order, that was my first introduction to horror in the late 1960s, when he used to show the old Universal black and whites. Am I Dead? Yes. Harmony Korine wrote that controversial film, The Kids in the 90s. Then he directed Gummo, Julian Donkey Boy. Julian Donkey Boy, the mind boggles. Spring Breakers. I recently watched this film, Mr. Mr. Lonely, and thought it was odd and sad. Oh God, Julian Donkey Boy, flipping heck. Right, moving on. Jeff's saying, talking of anthologies, I like the Monster Club. I like that one. Yeah, 1980. Yeah, underrated. I think B.A. Robertson. Yeah, one of my favourite singers of the late 70s. Bang Bang, and yeah, To Be or Not to Be. Yeah, I love that one. The Monster Club with Vincent Price. Yeah, in the Framing Story. Yeah. Tony's saying loved the double bills on BBC Two in the 70s. Yeah, me too. Yeah. Vampire Jack, Kids and Spring Breakers are cool, right? Am I Dead Yet? Vampire Jack. Have you seen Mr. Lonely? He directed it. Okay, just get a couple more comments in, guys, and I'll sign off for the night. I'm just having a look at this one here because I don't recognise this name. Gender Render. There's a horror movie called Fender Bender, wasn't it? I'll have to have a look at. But this is a Gender Render. Hi, Alan. You okay? Just found your channel and love us. I know it's a weird question, but what would happen if your movie collection was stolen? Oh God, perish the thoughts. Would you still keep collecting, or would it put you up? It never stopped me collecting movies. I just start from scratch again. I just start from scratch again. Same with me books. Same with me CDs. I'd start from scratch again. Jeff Joffrey, did you ever collect VHS? I had a few, yeah. When I got my video recorder in 1986, I started collecting some of the Universal movies, and one of the first ones I bought. It's not a horror. It was ABBA the movie. I've got that on Blu-ray now. But yeah, ABBA the movie, yeah, I've watched that many times, and that, yeah. My mum always says about that one. What she doesn't like about ABBA the movie, that disc jockey. He said, they didn't really need to put him in. He tried to get an interview with ABBA, didn't he? He was chasing them all over Australia when he was touring Australia in 1977. Yeah, my mum doesn't like that. I don't mind it, but yeah, maybe on reflection, maybe they could have just made it maybe like Elvis's That's the Way It Is, just centered on ABBA, touring that and recording that. But yeah, did have some VHS tapes. Gender Bender only asking, as it's always worried me that I will be burgled and I might take them or damage them. Yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah, definitely. Get yourself a couple of Alsatian dogs. Vampire Jack, Mr. Lonely. No, just the two I mentioned, right? Just a couple more comments, guys. I'll just wind down for the night then. Am I Dead? Yes. Ivan Millas and Bradley John Murdoch inspired Wolf Creek. Yeah. Am I Dead? Yes. Watch Mr. Lonely, Vampire Jack. I watched it and it stayed with me, right? Vampire Jack, I'll check it out. Okay. Try and get a couple more in, guys, before I go. Gender Render, who? Jeff Joffrey. Allah, forgot the trolls. Your streams are the best because you interact with people. A lot of streams, those in the chat are ignored. Yeah. Oh, thanks very much, Jeff. Yeah, I'm glad. I'm glad to hear that. And yeah, I'll take notes of those bloody stupid trolls. Gender Render, Mary Poppins. I can't think of anything less offensive. I know, yeah. Just shows you the bloody mentality of them, doesn't it? They want to bloody cut it out a bit, and that means cut out that stupid interfering. Not, I don't mean cut out, obviously. Don't cut out the movie. Pardon the pun. Tony Crosby agreed, Jeff. Gender Render, and just ignore the trolls, Alan. Just attention seekers. I know they'll get no bloody attention here. You'll only get belittled and ridiculed. Gender Render. Who's your favourite vampire? Mine is Eddie. Oh, that's no question. No contest. My favourite vampire is Dracula, played by the late, great Christopher Lee. Top man. The greatest Dracula ever. I could go on forever about him. Yeah, so yeah. My favourite vampire is Christopher Lee Dracula. A very, very close second could be Count Yorga, played by Robert Quarry. He could have played Dracula. Robert Quarry, he was that good. Jeff, Mary Poppins, Vampire Hunter. If that's not a movie, it should be Abraham Lincoln. Any of you guys seen a movie called Abraham Lincoln, Vampire Hunter? The title put me off, guys. I just saw one look at that title. I thought, that's not for me, that. Abraham Lincoln, Vampire Hunter. What a ridiculous premise. Gender Render. Who's your favourite robot? Mine is RoboCop. I'm not really a big fan of robots movies. I did like the robot in Lost in Space, but that's going back to the late 60s. I agree with you, Jeff. Yeah, just got a couple more in, guys, and I'll love yous and leave us for the night. Jeff, Tony Crosby, Gender. Who's your favourite alien? My favourite alien is the one in 1979, Ridley Scott shocker Alien. Oh my God, that bloody chest piercer scene. I still can't stomach it, if you pardon the pun. I still can't stomach watching it to this day, like the Robert Morley poodle pie scene in Theatre of Blood. Jeff Joffrey to Brian Gilson. Gender Render. Who's your favourite cowboy? Mine is Lee Van Cleef. I like Clint Eastwood playing the man with no name. Just get one or two more in, guys, and I'll finish. Lake and Crass Hero. Yeah, stop motion is a horror. Right. Okay. Just one or two, guys, and then I'll sign off for the night. Gender Render. Who's your favourite werewolf? Lon Chaney Jr., Lawrence Talbot. Nobody can play Wolfman like him, closely followed by the guy in American Werewolf in London. So Lon Chaney Jr. and the guy was a David Norton that played the American Werewolf in London. But Lon Chaney Jr. is a top werewolf for me. Just the very character, Lawrence Talbot, all the suffering he really came over, like he really evoked what it would be like to be a werewolf and that, and just his face alone, tortured, haunted soul, and like, oh yeah, Lon Chaney Jr., best Wolfman ever. And we're going to end with Vampire Jack, favorite robots, Terminator, favorite alien, Xenomorph. That's right, alien. And on that note, guys, I will wind down the stream. Well, thanks for coming. I really enjoyed chatting to you all and that. Thanks very much for turning up. And hope to come back, maybe if not next week, maybe in a week or two's time. And I'll try and get some guests on in a couple of weeks' time and that. If anybody's interested in that. So yeah, I've really enjoyed it, guys. Apart from the the brainless morons that encroached upon our enjoyments and that. But full marks to you moderators, guys. You did a great job with zapping them and that, and just keep them at bay and that, and just don't give them the time of day. They're not welcome on this channel. And that people having a good discussion about movies, and last thing we want is them coming on with them spouting their bloody crap. Yeah. So yeah, cheers, guys. Now, all right then, guys. I'm going to love and leave now. I'm going to nip downstairs and get some supper. Thanks again. I've enjoyed it now, and I always say it. If you're going to go Blu-ray hunting or DVD hunting over the weekend, I hope you manage to pick up some bargains and that. I'll be doing some Blu-ray hunting and DVD hunting myself over the weekend. So I'm going to pick those Roger Moore movies up as well, providing he still have them. Yeah. All right then, guys. So that's it. I'll go now. Take care of yourselves, and I'll hope to be back again very, very soon with another live stream. Take care. Bye. Bye.